Today in the show, Liverpool and PSG launch official negotiations for Bradley Barcola. The transfer fee could set a new absolute Premier League record. Beyond this, Real engages in grueling bargaining with Manchester City over Rodri, while Xabi Alonso demands Diogo Costa for Chelsea for $60 million. We talk about all this and much more right now. Jordan Henderson has officially become a Chelsea player, signing a 2-year contract with the London club through June 2028 as a free agent. Following a season at Brentford, where the midfielder made 34 appearances across all competitions, the parties agreed to an early contract termination by mutual consent with no financial claims. The Blues paid no compensation fee for the 36-year-old veteran, while the midfielder himself agreed to a modest wage in the region of £70,000 to £80,000 sterling per week, alongside a team performance bonus structure. Immediately following the transfer's completion, the midfielder addressed the supporters.
I understand that my age will be the main topic of discussion during this move. However, I hope that by the time I leave the club, everyone will realize exactly what I was able to give it. I will give absolutely everything every single day for this club.
This signing marks a shift in Chelsea's transfer strategy, as the club had not fielded a player over 30 years old for 123 consecutive matches. Xabi Alonso insisted on bringing in authoritative figures to add mentorship to a young dressing room. Alongside signing Danny Welbeck, the former Liverpool captain is tasked with providing balance and winners' experience for Premier League and European Cup campaigns. Chelsea is also working on trimming the roster, with Trevoh Chalobah close to moving to Como, as the Italian club reached a verbal agreement with Chelsea regarding the transfer of the 27-year-old English central defender. The fixed transaction sum stands at €30 million, with an additional €6 million structured as achievable bonus payments. Furthermore, the Londoners retained a sell-on percentage from any future resale of their academy product. The opportunity to perform in the Champions League proved to be the decisive factor for the player, who prioritized continuing his career in Serie A. A key role in negotiations was played by head coach Cesc Fabregas, who personally called the defender and presented a tactical project where the Englishman is viewed as the pivotal leader of the defensive line. For the London club, selling their academy product guarantees pure profit on financial statements and allows for substantial improvement under financial fair play rules. Official document signing and a medical examination are expected shortly, after which the defender will join the Italian side to prepare for the European campaign. Rodri finds himself at the center of this summer's hottest transfer saga. Real is actively conducting official talks with Manchester City over the transfer of the 30-year-old Spanish midfielder. The Ballon d'Or winner and best player of the 2026 World Cup has strictly designated the Madrid club as his sole priority choice, despite active interest from Barcelona and PSG. The Madrid side continues to insist on their offer of €50 million, planning to leverage the fact that the footballer's contract expires in a year. However, Manchester City management values their leader at €75 to €80 million and demands the financial gap be covered. The player himself refuses to give the green light to other suitors, so Barcelona's attempts to enter the race following Frenkie de Jong's injury collide with the Spaniard's firm stance. The Manchester hierarchy is deliberately stalling a final decision, hoping either to convince the midfielder to sign an extension or to squeeze the maximum fee out of the Madrid side. Meanwhile, manager Enzo Maresca publicly assures that he seeks to retain the key midfielder, though avoiding his departure before the transfer window closes will be extremely difficult. Thus, the transfer's fate remains in an active bargaining stage, and the resolution hinges on whether Real agrees to raise the fixed fee to €60 to €65 million, including add-ons. The player's personal stance remains the decisive factor, so the Madrid side simply needs to make the final move to seal the deal. Gonçalo Garcia and Cesar Palacios have officially become Fulham players, executing a double transfer from Real under head coach Alvaro Arbeloa. For forward Gonçalo Garcia, the Londoners will pay a €40 million fixed payment plus €2 million in bonus add-ons. Meanwhile, the move for midfielder Cesar Palacios cost 10 million euros. Both deals were structured on favorable terms for the Madrid side. The Spanish club retained 30% of any future sell-on fee for both academy products, alongside a right of first refusal to match any buyer's offer for their potential return. In parallel, Real is preparing another outgoing transfer, as Franco Mastantuono is close to a temporary change of club scenery. Despite River Plate's desire to bring the Argentine back on loan, the Madrid side strictly insists on his continued adaptation in Europe. Fiorentina has emerged as the main favorite in the race for the midfielder, pulling ahead of Spanish and French clubs, and is currently agreeing wage payment terms with the Madrid hierarchy. Bradley Barcola risks engineering the main transfer show of the summer. Liverpool and PSG have officially entered direct negotiations. The Merseysiders have already signaled a willingness to lay out over 100 million euros for the 23-year-old explosive French winger, but those in Paris are set on bargaining to the very end. PSG management considers the initial figure merely an opening gambit and expects to receive between 135 and 160 million euros. If the parties approach the upper limit, the Premier League will receive a brand new absolute transfer record. The player himself has made it crystal clear since May he sees his future exclusively at Anfield and seeks to become the key figure in the Merseysiders' revamped attack. Luis Enrique has no intention of holding the star against his will, but awaits full satisfaction of the club's financial appetite. A realistic compromise in this game of nerves is pegged around 120 to 130 million euros plus additional performance bonuses. The irreversibility of the process is further evidenced by the fact that the Parisians are already preparing a replacement at full speed. PSG is at the final stage of talks to sign Magnus Akliush from Monaco for 50 million euros. Furthermore, an official proposal of 40 million euros has been submitted to Ajax for 21-year-old Belgian winger Mika Götze. The Amsterdam side, in turn, is already seeking a successor for the Belgian, examining an option with Noah Lang. Thus, the transfer flywheel is already spinning, and everything now hinges on how quickly Liverpool decides to make the decisive financial move. Following Mohamed Salah's departure, the club critically needs a new leader on the attacking flank, making the French winger the exact figure around which the revamped attacking line will be built. Write in the comments whether Bradley Barcola can become a worthy replacement for Mohamed Salah at Liverpool. But let's move forward. Chelsea is actively exploring the option of signing Diogo Costa, as the Londoners urgently search for a top goalkeeper and are considering triggering the release clause for the 26-year-old Porto shot-stopper in the amount of 60 million euros. The Blues seek to secure the first-choice position for the long haul, but the Portuguese club strictly refuses any bargaining and demands full activation of the clause. Bringing in a world-class goalkeeper is a personal requirement of head coach Xabi Alonso. Robert Sanchez's play under pressure and his systematic errors during short distribution do not fit the Spanish manager's system, while Philip Jurgensen is viewed strictly as a backup. Diogo Costa fits the sweeper-keeper build-out model perfectly, as he demonstrates high-level footwork, composure under pressure, and accurate diagonals over any distance. Thus, the transfer question rests solely on whether the London club's board agrees to lay out the full release clause right now. Should the London club decide on this financial step, the Portugal national team goalkeeper will be acquired for a guaranteed starting spot, capable of solving the team's goalkeeping dilemma for years to come. Mauricio Pochettino has officially extended his contract with the USA Football Federation, signing a new 4-year deal through the completion of the 2030 World Cup. Despite an exit in the round of 16 of the home 2026 World Cup against Belgium, management retained full trust in the 54-year-old Argentine manager who took charge of the national team in the autumn of 2024. Under the new contract, the manager's salary will increase from his previous 6 million euros per year baseline, while his responsibilities will expand substantially, Beyond preparing the main team for upcoming tournaments, the Argentine and his staff will oversee the large-scale development of youth national teams, youth academies, and the coaching education system in the country. Ahead for the Argentine specialist lies a full 4-year cycle featuring performances in the CONCACAF Gold Cup, Nations League, and the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. The manager himself noted that the first 2 years of work allowed for a full evaluation of the player's potential, while the new long-term project is designed to build a fundamental system for consistent success in American football. Marc-Andre Ter Stegen has officially become an Ajax player, closing his departure from Barcelona and embarking on a new stage in his career. The primary driver behind the 34-year-old German goalkeeper's departure from the Spanish giant was a series of severe injuries from a patellar tendon tear-to-back surgeries, due to which he definitively lost his spot in the starting 11. The final attempt to rehabilitate his career in Spain was a loan to Girona in the second half of last season, but another injury restricted his appearances to just 2 matches. The key factor behind the move to the Netherlands was the personal insistence of head coach Michel. This exact manager headed Girona during the German stint there, and in the summer took charge of the Amsterdam club, immediately making the experienced goalkeeper his top target. Despite Ter Stegen barely playing under him at his previous club due to injuries, the manager maintained total faith in the German shot stopper and views him as a foundational leader for the revamped roster. The Catalans agreed to cover the majority of the player's salary to lighten their wage bill and grant him the opportunity to return to his peak level. All paperwork between the clubs has been signed, the medical examination was successfully passed, so the German goalkeeper has joined the Amsterdam side to prepare for the new season.